The hell? Okay. I guess I better go ahead and make this show because this is something that most people talk about these days. There's a lot of things going on the internet, and a lot of people are talking about this stuff. So today I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the new chat thing. Might as well bring it up because a lot of people have been talking about this controversy for a while. So I might as well just talk about it because a lot of people have been bringing up a lot of things that have been popping up. And it's sort of kind of... let me see if I can mess with the chat thing right now. See if I can make it a little more friendlier. Yeah, there we go. Might as well put it in there. Tonight, we're going to go ahead and talk about some bullshit, and it's the BS show. So today, it's nothing more than just a joke. It's more drama than ever. A lot of people are talking about a lot of stuff, and it's no joke how this happened because it's been a couple of days since the internet warfare happened, and it's just begun. And so far, people are talking about a lot of things that are happening on the internet. Especially, I have confirmed from sources on the internet that after Sonic Fox losing the tournament, he has been confirmed 100% gay. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He has been confirmed that he's officially, and he is still gay in 2019. Oh boy. There's been a lot of drama that's been happening, and a lot of people are talking about this, and it's been really there's been a lot of drama that's been going on the internet lately, and a lot of people are talking about this whole thing with Hypebreak. Now, a lot of people have been making a lot of talk about this, and it's been a little bit for a while. Now, there's been a lot of things that have been happening on the internet, and it's no joke how this happened. Now, should I be surprised by this? Maybe. But a lot of people are talking about this whole thing about the situation where a lot of people are upset. A lot of fans are upset with Metro Exodus being on a platform that no one really gives a shit about. But unfortunately, this has been popping up lately. Now, I guess there's a lot of topics I should go through, but tonight I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the topics because there's a video by Tipster that I will present as is. Let me go ahead and switch over to... I think that's going to happen. I guess I better go ahead and play the video for you guys, so here we go.
Hold up.
What is up, guys? Tipster here, and today I have a new video for you guys, and holy shit do I have a lot of really crazy stuff to talk about with you guys today. Some of you guys may know I covered the Ian Miles Chong versus Andy Worski thing quite some time ago. If you guys want to get caught up to speed on that, I'll leave a link up in the cards to my previous video on the matter. But some really interesting stuff came out today that kind of confirms a lot of the suspicions a lot of people had. In my last video, some of you guys may remember that some of you guys in the comments were suggesting that a lot of the stuff was kind of being speculated on. For example, the whole ordeal with Ian swatting Andy. A lot of people said this sounds like speculation. There's not a whole lot of proof. Yeah, sure, maybe he has a history of doxing and swatting people, but that doesn't necessarily mean he did it in this case. And to be fair, in the last video, I did say that, yeah, it is speculation. Yeah, his history kind of looks like it confirms it a little bit, but for the most part, it was true. We didn't really have any evidence that he was the one that actually swatted Andy Worski, but that changes today, because today Keemstar put out a really interesting tweet that I'm actually going to show to you guys. Let me go ahead and bring that tweet up for you guys right now. This is the tweet right here. He says, breaking, we were sent audio that appears to be at Steelgray, that's Ian Miles Chong, admitting to swatting Andy Worski, and he includes a Twitter video here, and I'm going to play that Twitter video for you guys right now.
Out saying that he's going to make a video on me, that really actually set me off. I did not need to see that. I'm more than happy to just let him leave me alone, but he forced my hand, so I called the police. I actually called the police on him. I know what he does. I know he has illegal firearms. I know that he is deeply entrenched in the alt-right. I know that he has a lot of cocaine in his house. Yeah, he's fucked. He's fucked. I even talked to them on the phone. So, who knows? Maybe they'll pay him a visit very soon.
So as you can see there, quite the interesting Twitter video. This was apparently someone who he had sent a voice message to through Instagram, and this person decided to leak that information to Keemstar. And a lot of people took this as, yeah, this is a confession, that him admitting to someone. We don't really know who this person is, although they have come forward. We really don't know this person's relation to Ian or Andy, if they have any relation to Andy or anything like that. But this looked like a confession from Ian, and a lot of people interpreted it as that. And Ian did respond to this initially when it came out. This is what Ian had to say. He says, I called the police a few days ago to report Andy Worski for the suspicion of a crime. It has nothing to do with any incidents they are accusing me of swatting or hurting anyone. These allegations are exaggerated for the purpose of feeding a narrative. So it's really interesting because he said he never called the police on Andy previously, but now he's saying, oh yeah, I called the police, but I was just reporting a crime. This wasn't a swatting. He mentions, you know, having drugs in his apartment and apparently having like illegal firearms and stuff like that. But he's saying, no, this was just a report to the police. This wasn't a case of me trying to have him swatted or anything like that. That's what he was saying. And I have to say, there were a lot of people defending Ian in the case of this situation, and some of the mental gymnastics these people were going to defend Ian was nuts. We have a situation where we know Andy was swatted. Now we know Ian called the police. Anyone can put two and two together, look at that situation and say, okay, Ian's the one that swatted him. But like I said, some of these people were going through some crazy mental gymnastics. They were saying, oh, well, yeah, he admits to calling the police, but he didn't swat him. He was just reporting that Andy has all these illegal drugs and stuff like that. But in the same video, like, even if, okay, that's the case. Let's say that's the case. Let's play devil's advocate here, right? Even if that was the case, why didn't he report the crime when he heard about the crime? Why did he wait until he heard Andy was going to make a video about him? Like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The other thing is, a lot of people were playing this semantics game about, well, the SWAT team didn't show up, so that's not a swatting. That's not how it works. Yes, swatting gets its name from the fact that in most cases SWAT teams show up, but it doesn't matter if the person calls with the intent to, you know, do some kind of harm to the person or disrupt the person's day. It doesn't matter if a SWAT team shows up. It doesn't matter if a couple of detectives show up. It doesn't matter if the fucking paramedics and the fire department show up. Any calls to emergency medical services in an attempt to disrupt your day, in an attempt to act out a prank, in an attempt to somehow get revenge on you, that is a swatting. You can play the semantics game all you want. It doesn't matter. That's still a swatting. But some of the people were going to great lengths to try and defend Ian. But here's the interesting thing. This didn't end here. This recording was damning enough, but we got more recordings. As you can see, there were a lot of voice messages there that weren't played in that initial video, and we got more. Another voice recording came out. This was leaked by Keemstar as well. It says, sounds like attempted murder. More audio of video game journalist at Steelgray lying to police in an attempt at swatting Andy Worski. And so we have another Twitter video here, and I'm going to play this one for you as well.
And hopefully soon the Mississauga police will be paying him a nice little visit. I told them that he was armed and dangerous, because he is. He's got guns, and that he's prone to bouts of schizophrenia and bouts of violence. So he might be in for a treat. It's all true, by the way. He is prone to all these things, so Yeah, that's not just me trying to get him killed. That's actually true. They need to be careful.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a SWAT attempt. That sounds like him trying to kind of manipulate these facts. He believed that he had drugs, and okay, you believe he has drugs, fine. You believe he has illegal weapons in his house, fine. And you want to report a crime, okay, I guess I can kind of see that. But the way that he kind of manipulated these facts and went as far as to tell the police that he's armed and dangerous, he's been known to be schizophrenic and stuff like that, that's clearly an attempt to SWAT someone. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way to kind of wiggle through that one. This is Ian admitting to someone through an Instagram voice call, or an Instagram voice message rather, that he's attempting to SWAT Andy Worski. There's like no way you can get around that whatsoever. Now, a lot of people started asking, hey, where's the source of this information? Where are these voice recordings coming from? And that's when the person who actually released these to Keemstar came forward. This is their Twitter here, and they said, my phone is the source. You can see that he's actually started deleting some of the messages after the initial leak happened. He started deleting some of his voice messages here, and she does show that, yes, this is indeed her phone. So all this is really interesting. It's like there's no way to wiggle out of this one. This dude tried to SWAT Andy Worski, so it's probably safe to say that the DDoSing was him as well. We pretty much know for a fact that the fucking with Andy's channel, you know, changing the thumbnails to porn images and stuff like that, obviously that was him because, you know, Ian Miles Cheong is from Malaysia, and the person who was making the changes to the channel, those changes were coming from Malaysia. So it looks like everything up to this point, with the exception of the DDoSing, it's safe to say it was probably him, but there's no 100% proof that it was him at this point, just to be fair. But it looks like pretty much everything has been proven to be tied to him. He's denied everything up to this point, and it's one of those things when it gets to a certain point and you're kind of wondering to yourself, why doesn't this dude just fess up? Like, why doesn't he just admit that, yeah, you know what, I fucked up, I did all this stuff? He's admitted to it in the past. With the Wild Goose situation, he admitted to all of that. So why not admit to this? All the evidence is there. Every time you deny something, evidence comes out exposing that it happened to be true. So why continue to lie about it? The more you lie, you just make a bigger ass of yourself. And now I'm hearing that apparently he's saying that he did what he did because he was scared for his life by Andy. These guys live like far away from each other. Andy's in Canada, he's in Malaysia. Like, I don't know how he feels like Andy's gonna somehow threaten his life or something like that. And Andy, as far as I know, hasn't made any threats against his life, so I don't even know what he's trying to say with that, but that just seems like some bullshit excuse to play the victim card some more. It's really interesting to say the least. What's really funny about this is just 2 months ago, Ian Miles Cheong was actually on a live stream with Destiny, and he said something that really makes him look like a big fucking hypocrite in regards to this whole situation. It was actually something that Keemstar brought to my attention. This is something he tweeted out. He says, on a debate with Destiny just 2 months ago, video game journalist @StillGray says swatting is criminal. Then 2 months later, he admits to swatting Andy Worski. Wow, and he attaches a clip of that. I actually have the original clip and timestamp over here on YouTube, so I'm going to go ahead and play that clip really quickly for you guys right now.
What about, like, doxing somebody? Do you think you should be allowed to post somebody's personal information on social media?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. What about things like swatting? Like if you call a police station to make a false report or
Swatting?
whatever?
Oh, absolutely not. That's not under free speech. I mean, that is, you know, you're inciting violence, or rather not inciting violence, but causing violence, right? You can cause a person to get killed if you swat them.
But not necessarily, right?
Not necessarily, but again, it's a waste of police time. You know, those cops, they are using, you know, they could be elsewhere saving lives or doing whatever, you know, just doing their jobs, and you're sending them off to kill somebody. So that should be illegal, and it is illegal in many places. Like that one guy who swatted that Call of Duty player, right? He swatted the wrong house, guy got killed, he's now in jail. So yeah, it's illegal.
So considering what we know about Ian today, that clip makes Ian look really hypocritical. So what are my final thoughts on this situation? Ian, if you're watching this, like, dude, just stop lying and stop the bullshit. Like, you're caught red-handed, dude. There's nothing you can say to weasel your way out of this one. We literally have audio recordings of you admitting to call the police and going as far as to reveal how much information you gave to the police that would result in them potentially swatting Andy. It's really ridiculous that you're still
A lot of people don't realize what Ian did was very stupid. To the point that, yeah, there is a lot of evidence of what happened to what Ian did, and a lot of people are not happy with what Ian did, because this is becoming to the point that not everyone wants to deal with the bullshit that he's doing. A lot of people are not happy because the drama that happened between Ian and Andy, he should have just left. He should have left him alone. He should have just kept, because after what he did was stupid. He could have just went like, look, I'm going to go separate ways with Andy. I'm just going to go my way. But instead, he went after him, took him by surprise, by literally damaging his YouTube channel, allowing, I don't know why Andy let him use his YouTube channel. I don't know why, to gain trust and try to, hurt him. And literally used his YouTube channel to basically, I can understand that Andy wanted to make money and partnered up with him. But the thing that bothered me about this whole situation was, why did this happen? Why did you try to do this? Why did you try to threaten the police? Now, there is evidence of this, and the fact that I'm surprised that this happened to him. And it got to the point that a lot of people are not happy with what happened, because this is something that a lot of people are surprised by. And this is something that people are talking about, because this is the thing that people saw. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just blow it up for you guys right now. There we go. That's pretty much what we're gonna blow up on. Now I'll show you what happened.
Nice little visit. I told them that he was armed and dangerous, because he is. He's got guns, and that he's prone to bouts of schizophrenia and bouts of violence, so he might be in for a treat. And Mississauga police will be paying him a nice little visit. I told them that he was armed and dangerous, because he is. He's got guns, and that he's prone to bouts of schizophrenia and bouts of violence, so he might be in for a treat. It's all true, by the way. He is prone to all these things, so that's not just me trying to get him killed. That's actually true. They need to be careful.
Man, it's all true. It's all true until someone gets hurt. Yeah, and it's like, well, let's go to Keemstar. Let's look at Keemstar, even though I don't know what Keemstar. And the saga continues about Keemstar's little thing, and when he does, about what happens, because a lot of people are upset with Keemstar. Oh, she's having a baby. Congratulations. Let's see. Yeah, because there's been some drama. Oh my god. Yeah, Eugene. Eugene. Yeah, Eugene has a really, please help her. She's going to die. It's going to get worse. And yeah, her body is I don't know what's going on. But a lot of people talk about her. Now let's see what Keemstar did. That's all true. Well, let's see. He doxed me, stole money from me, attempted to lock me out of my own channel, spread malicious lies about me through multiple videos, harassed my friends. To any delusional people saying Stilgray was not swatting, just reporting a crime. FYI, there was no crime. He admits he swatted Andy for revenge. Now here's the
Mississauga police will be paying him a nice little visit. I told violence. That's not just me trying to get him killed. That's actually true. They need to be careful.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about this because it's getting to the point that this is something that a lot of people are surprised by. Now,
saying that he's going to make a video on me. That really actually set me off. I did not need to see that. I'm more than happy to just let him leave me alone. Saying that he's going to make a video on me. That really actually set me off. I did not need to see that. I'm more than happy to just let him leave me alone. But he forced my hand, so I called the police. I actually called the police on him. I know what he does. I know he has illegal firearms. I know that he is deeply entrenched in the alt-right. I know that he has a lot of cocaine in his house. Yeah, he's fucked. He's fucked. I even talked to them on the phone. So, who knows? Maybe they'll pay him a visit very soon.
Andy has a lot of cocaine in his house, and therefore, he's evil. Yes, I know, because I'm Ian. Yes, I still think he has a lot of cocaine in his house. Andy has a lot of cocaine, therefore, he's evil, and he has guns. So, Ian, I don't hear any gangster music in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and laugh at this shit. Because a lot of people suspect a lot of things that happened with what Ian did. And yeah, game journalists calling police on people they disagree with. Nicely done, Ian. People shit on IGN for nearly a decade, and even they weren't driven to that. Yeah, so Keepstar says, we have more audio tapes from you, Stilgray. Looks like you tried to delete them to hide the evidence. If there was ever a time to come clean about some of the things, now would be the good time. Also, your sources say to fix your antivirus. IDK, what's that mean? I'm not good with tech. So yeah, there's a lot of people. FloozyTube, please call me. See you. It's like, okay. Yeah, so Ian is really in trouble. And he's opening up. Yeah, so literally everyone's making fun of this right now. Okay, so yo, Stilgray, I know you're not the type to bail, but Keemstar will generally crucify you. He's way too strong here. Isn't the hill you want to die on, or the match up you want to play. IDC, what this is about, but just to give him the W to open up a Bible and read like this. Yeah, a lot of people are very upset because it turns out Ian really caused a lot of drama with the fans over the fact that he basically tried to attempt to swat. And he said this is not a swatting, and I don't even know why people defend this guy. And it's getting to the point that a lot of people are not happy with this whole situation. It's getting to the point that a lot of people are not happy with what happened. It's like no one realizes what's going on. And that's how bad it is. How's it going? Yeah, because there's been some crazy stuff going on lately over the Hypebreak situation. Now, this happened with Andy Worski. What happened was Ian and Miles Chung were both partners over a YouTube channel over Hypebreak. And Andy, in the process, had some issues with Ian in the live streams talking about I don't like what's his name? I don't like Internet Aristocrat, aka Mr. Medicare. And this kind of started a drama between the two in the live stream, and a lot of fans didn't really like it, so he basically told Ian to get off he will no longer be on the live stream with him. And of course, Andy said this to him, and that kind of set him off a little bit, getting upset. And the fact that he should have focused on working on the show, because he does a lot of good content. Then, of course, what happened was Hypebreak kind of faltered when it started with Andy and Ian, and Ian decided to ruin him a lot. I don't know why I don't know why he partnered with him and let him have the YouTube access to his channel to help him make the show. And it's kind of sad, because this is something that bothered me. Why did you let him gain access to your channel? 2, why did he do this, putting dicks on your channel in order to get you into trouble? This kind of stuff happens, and it kind of bothers me to the point that a lot of people are starting to question what's going on. Because a lot of people are talking about this whole issue with Hypebreak and what really happened with the drama that some people didn't like. So yeah, this is what's going on. This is what a lot of people are not happy about. It's no joke. And a lot of people are pretty pissed off with what's going on the internet. Pretty much everybody's not happy with what happened. And it's likely there's been a lot of problems. Because right now, people are not happy with the drama that's been happening over the internet. Because people are literally trying to defend Ian, and I'm like, I don't even know if Kotaku and other internet people are unhappy. Now, let's see here. Hey, Anime News Network, any particular comment on this first image on Mosaic? One of your claims is non-consensual pass. Second is the victim themselves saying that you fabricate. Okay, there's another drama that's going on. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this because this is something that most people are talking about right now. Is the Vic Mignogna drama, the hashtag KickVic, which the voice actor who has done a lot of animes, he's been known as Elroy. Man, I can't remember these animes. Yes, he was in Full Metal Alchemist as the voice actor, as one of the main character. Okay, Full Metal Alchemist. Let me see if I can remember, because I keep forgetting the names. Because I remember watching this anime back then, and it was a very popular anime. A lot of people loved that anime, Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist was like one of the most entertaining OVA series, because it was, and then they decided to bring out Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which was the anime that everyone liked, because it didn't contain all the filler that they needed for this anime. Yeah, because Full Metal Alchemist, because the animated series itself was pretty good, but they decided to go forward with it and make another series based on the same thing that would go into the manga more and more into the story. And it was a really good series. It started in 2003 and 2004, and it aired on Cartoon Network. and it became really popular. A lot of people really like that series, and if I can remember the actor, let's see, fictional universe, let's see, because it was originally an OVA series. Edward Elric. Yeah, that's the one. Now I remember. Edward Elric was the main character. Edward Elric. He voiced that character. He also voiced some other ones. I know that. Vic Mignogna had been known to make some really... Like, back then when he first started out in anime, Vic... Vic Mignogna did a lot of other animes as well. And let me see if I can remember, because he did some other animes, and I know he actually did his own. He did his own his own Star Trek series called Star Trek Continues, and it ended in 2013 through 2017. Let's see if I can remember. He did, because he's a really old voice actor. He has been doing anime for decades. Like he did. Let's see. He in the early '90s he did a lot of other animes. He did Yu Yu Hakusho. He did. Let's see if I could find it. Martian Successor Nadesco. Let's see. He did. Spriggan. He did Generator Gaul as Gaul. And that's an old anime. He did Initial D as Shingo Shoji. Because he did like XL Saga as Wolf. He voice acted that. Let's see. He did AD Police, which is an old anime that came out in the early 90s. He did a little additional voices. Escaflowne movie as Dune. And Falcon Flanell for the dub animation. Sin the movie as Tim Peko. Let's see what else. He did Nora as Wellman. He did a lot of old animes back in the days. I know that. He did Aquarion Sign of Evolution as Shogo Hirota. He did a lot of old animes since the early 90s and early 80s. Not really. He did some animes in the early 90s. Through the 2000s. Almost a decade, because he has done like 3 decades worth of anime. Let me see. From 2000... Okay, because I only remembered him back in the early 90s. He voice acted in the early 90s. Okay, so he... Let's see, early 90s, he did... Yeah, he did Detective Conan for a while. And All-Purpose Cultural Cat Girl Nuku Nuku. I remember that anime. Oh, boy. Genesis of Aquarion. Johannes. Did that one. Full Metal Alchemist, the movie. Yeah, he did a lot of the Full Metal Alchemist. He did Brawley. He did Trinity as Virgil Welsh. The Count of Manchester. Let's see. Suzuka, Mar. Oh, I liked it, Mar. A lot of people liked it, Mar. He did that one. A lot of people talked about him about that. And I'm just looking up what Vic Mignogna did. A lot of people talk about Vic Mignogna a lot. Now, let's see here. Let me see what I could do here, because I know that most people are obsessive about this. He did Bleach as Ikaku Murane. Let's see. Ghost Slayer, Nasha, Wallflower. He did like almost 2 decades. Let me see, 2.5 decades of anime. From the 90s to the early 2000s, he's been working in the anime industry in the voice acting industry for almost for dubs for almost probably 2 to 3 decades. He has been working in the anime industry, and it's sad that he's probably going to lose more work because they're going to try to terminate him from working because of this whole controversy of him being accused of rape. And a lot of people are talking about this whole issue about him. It's like, okay, there's a question about what happened when on the internet about Vic. And the actual photo that's been going around. Okay, hey, Anime News Network. And right now, Anime News Network is supporting the whole Kick Vic thing. And a lot of people are literally going after Vic Mignogna over this. And the accusations about him, are popping up basically about him being a pedophile and all this other stuff that's happening, and it's getting to the point that a lot of people are talking about this situation. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what Vic Mignogna is, and I'm going to show you guys what he does. Like, this is what Vic Mignogna did for the last couple of decades, as you can see. He has done a lot of animes for the past, but I'm not counting the ones over here because those were redubbed animes back in the early 80s. He did like animes for Gatchaman for the early 70s, but I don't think he did those. Anime Arura Durabine, that was redubbed, and he basically took the role. Megazone 23, he actually took the role of that one. Dirty Pair, he did some anime. He redubbed these for around the early 90s and 80s when they first came out on VHS. As I recall, he actually did them around the 90s. He actually did a lot of dubbing work around the 90s through the early 2000s, and then the early and through the early 2000s redubbing voice work. Now you can see that he has done a lot of animes in his portfolio, but it's sad that he won't be doing a lot of them anymore because they might try to terminate him because of the accusations, as I said again. And there's been a lot of drama over that whole issue with him. And this is something that I don't really would have to talk about, but then again, I'll try to point out. A lot of people are talking about it, but as far as I know, there is a lot of things going on the internet which kind of tells us about the Anime News Network. And it's like, there's a lot of deep shit that's going on, and it's sort of ridiculous. Let's see here. Now let's see what we got. Yeah, the real joke is that you're ignoring the start. You're ignoring the start of the thread where the evidence of AN using is called into question pretty hard, faked it. I'm not going to get between you and your AO on Dissonant stuff, but I got no dog in the fight. But the rest of the thread is still in their gen. Although I want to see how it actually, the mental handicapped, the Kickback crowd is. Look at the tweets he linked it. Look at the response and her. Her tweet showing Jessica lied to Todd is gonna out her. Hooray! Justice for Jesse. Take that, Vic. Joins the bandwagon calling me a pedo because I owe a few lolly to shonens. Defends the actual pedophile despite the evidence that it's out here. What a fucking joke. Now, a lot of people are talking about anime outsiders. It's kind of funny. I like to die. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to reiterate some king judging of someone's options if you have proponents of the bio. Comes across as similar. Let's see. See what's going on. The only thing being projected here is your dumb Estrella losers a Super Bowl, kick Vic and kick off Nutella right up your ass. You know, defending the voice actor from an angry mob led to 2 reviewers I didn't watch out of that isn't how I expected in 2019. But if this is the best the mob has to offer, think I might be in for some laughs. Now here's something that they're trying to do. Hey Ann, any particular comment on the first image, the mosaic? Anyone claiming that non-consensual past? The second is the victim themselves saying you fabricated this stuff. The third is the reaction in the image, just in case you don't understand those. Okay. There is a photo going around with Vic giving me a kiss on the cheek, and they are falsely stating I was 20 years of age in 2012. I am only 21 now. This particular photo was taken in Manchester at Risborough Ranger dinner. This and that I set up with my mom was present, and along with the parents, I requested those photos myself and my mom and Vic's consent. I do not want to be involved in any negativity towards Vic and causes him any distress or bad press. Vic is generally a nice man who I admire and looked up for many years. In no way have I got anything to do with the negativity towards Vic or the allegations. Seeing this has distressed me tonight. I wanted to set the record straight. Keep your head up, Vic. Try to rise above it. And a lot of people are really upset about this whole situation because there's 2 sides that are divided by whether Vic is guilty, whether Vic is but I from my experience with Vic Mignogna, he was really a dick. But I don't think, in my case, he was a bad person. I think he was more of an asshole sometimes. But I'm going to point out that Vic is a nice guy. He did a lot of good things. He's just not particularly fond of yaoi fan art and all that other stuff. I understand that a lot of fans want to, make him basically, sign autographs with him, but he's particularly a nice person. He's really nice with the fans. He always goes to these conventions. He went to IkiCon. He went to every convention to talk to people, and he's such a nice person when you get to know him. But at times, when you ask him a stupid question, he'll give you a stupid answer in a funny way. That's my experience with him, because I actually asked him some questions, and I can understand his genuine I know that most people have an issue with him, but I don't take him personally as a voice actor. I can understand that some people had an issue with him in the past, because there are a lot of people that some people that would leave a bad taste in their mouth. And I understand that targeting Vic, yeah, he would be an easy target. But Vic Mignogna, I don't see him that way, in particular that he would do this, but I guess some fans probably did think that he probably did touch them the wrong way or came off the wrong way. He does come off that way as at times being a dick, but it's hard for me to understand the accusations, whether they are true, whether they are false. It's harder for me to determine whether he is. Because this is something that people need to understand. You have to convince people that this is all, that if Vic is really guilty of this, then you need to understand that people are not convinced that Vic might have done this. That's the problem with a lot of people, is that they want to convince us that this is really the absolute truth, and they want people to say that this is the absolute truth. Vic did these horrible things, but there's not enough evidence out there to convince people, because when you try to make Vic into this bad guy, I don't know why people want to make him into the bad guy. But the fact that it's harder for us, because it's kind of like the situation with Jew Wario. He seems like a nice person, but at the same time, you know, a lot of people had a hard time believing it. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. And I understand that some people want to believe the victim, but at the same time, it's hard for me to believe the other side of the truth of it. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to, get in the way of anything. It's just kind of hard, because the way people are putting themselves into it, it's hard for me to believe both sides of the argument, because this is causing a great divide in the anime community, because the accusations versus, actual, truth of what happened, because we don't know what happened, other than the fact that a lot of people are talking about the things that happen with Vic, and how Vic presents himself as a dick, coming out of the woodwork about it. But I'm just going to say this right now about Vic. Whether it's true or whether it's really the truth, I think Vic would probably have to get a lawyer and probably have to defend himself on this whole situation, because it's hard for us to believe what happened to Vic. There are some fans that support Vic, saying I stand with Vic, and there's people that say kick Vic, and I'm just like, I don't really give a shit, because personally I don't think Vic, because I'm pretty divided on the issue. As much as people don't like Vic Mignogna, as much as people do like Vic Mignogna, I can understand the reasons behind this, and I understand that people believe in the victim because they don't want to repeat the Jew Mario incident. Because the Jew Mario incident was a big controversy, and a lot of people are having a hard time to believing Vic. A lot of people are having a hard time believing the victim, because they're going to start questioning and saying, where's the evidence? Where's the problem? What happened? Why did this happen? There's a lot of talk about if this is all true. And this is the kind of things that happen in particular, because a lot of people are questioning what happened. Because we don't know what happened, and I don't know what happened, and that's my perspective of what Vic is on this whole situation. Because a lot of people are literally getting upset, getting worked up about the whole Me Too movement and everything. And there's a lot of things that go on in the Me Too movement that was drama beyond that caused a lot of damage within that movement. especially whether it's an accusation or a false accusation. It's hard for us to believe both sides of the argument because I wasn't there and I don't know what happened. I can't be the judge, the jury, the executioner for this whole thing because I'd rather give, you know, both sides the benefit of the doubt here to convince me of what happened, because literally this is becoming a hard to believe situation between, oh, Vic did this, and then it came out that one of the cosplayers claimed that Vic did this and this to her, but it turned out that it was actually another voice actor, and that voice actor came forward and basically talked about what happened. Now, let me see if I can find the source here, if I can remember, because there's a lot of things that particularly makes me question what happened. Because as you can see right here, I'll show you this little thing that happened where Anime News Network, you know, basically mosaically censored the face, and then the lady came out saying there's a photo. It's like, are they really telling the truth? Because this woman who got a picture with Vic was that person right there who got a kiss in the cheek with consent to basically hug, and they had a hugging picture together. And basically, Casey is defending him. Now, that kind of stuff does pop up. Now, let me go ahead and look up the tweets in question about what happened, because it seems that the two sides of the story seems to add up, and I'm going to go ahead and look up some stuff because a lot of people are talking about the see, Anime News Network goes all publishing ban an article of Bigman in regards to allegations and inappropriate behavior and conventions. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, because a lot of people are talking about Vic Mignogna. A lot of people see. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see if I can look it up, because I need to look up a YouTube video that talked about this issue, because I remembered I talked about this video. There's a video that came out talking about the situation about Vic Mignogna, and it was by the Lazy.
I love the Dragon.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and show you a video by the Lazy Gamer, who basically made a video about this whole situation of the drama that happened with and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. Yep.
Dragon Ball franchise. I've been a fan ever since I was a kid. However, I'm finding myself in a situation I hoped wasn't necessary. And that's why I have to talk about someone who I have mad respect for as a voice actor. This person is Monica Rial. Before I jump into it, I'm going to do a quick recap so that everyone is up to date with what's going on. Vic Mignogna, the voice actor of Broly in the new Dragon Ball Super movie, has been accused of sexual harassment and assault. These allegations have been going around for a number of years now, but it's only recently gained traction since the movie's release. People have been coming forward that Vic had inappropriately touched them, although despite from the evidence we've seen, all we've seen is Vic hugging and kissing his fans on the cheek or forehead. It's well known that Vic is very affectionate towards his fans, and he has recently come out with a statement clarifying that he never meant to make anyone feel uncomfortable, and that he was only showing his appreciation. He then said that to avoid this confusion in future, even if requested, that he will no longer be doing this, and that he hopes people will understand that he's no less appreciative. In my previous video, my main argument was that we should wait for evidence before we come to a conclusion. Yet, some people started a hashtag titled Kick Vic, calling for Vic to be fired and claim he's guilty without any sufficient proof, which I believe to just be absurd. After my video dropped, some new information came to light regarding one of the accusers, Jessie Pridemore. Jessie made a post on Facebook describing a time she went back to someone's hotel room with a guy we now know to be called Todd Haberkorn, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, where she blacked out after having too much to drink and waking up to find they had intercourse. Her ex-boyfriend tells her that she had been raped after she told him what had happened. Now, before I carry on, I want you to remember that she did not mention Todd's name because she was afraid of what might happen. I want you to remember this for later. Her post transitioned to Vic, where she talks about how she had seen him be really shitty towards people and staff members, and that she knew he wasn't a good person. She said at one point she was chatting to Vic, and a couple of fans ran up to him. She went to walk away and that he grabbed her arm, not letting her leave. One of his fans were talking about a series he's in, and she didn't realise it was him in the show before making a snarky comment about how all of his roles usually sound the same. She goes on to say how he then tugs on her hair, saying, "Oh, I know why you like that show, because of blank." Not really sure what she was trying to imply with the blank, but I'm sure you can use your imagination to fit it in. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the post. However, if you want to read it all for yourself, I'll leave it in the description. Moving on to Todd Haberkorn's side of the story, he realised that the post that Jessie had made was about him, so he provided messages that the two were sending to each other. Now, there's a lot to read, so I highly recommend you take a minute to read for yourself so you get the full picture. Link will also be in the description. I'm going to go over some of the key parts of the conversation they had, and then add some of my thoughts as we go along. So, initially, they're just talking about themselves. Todd mentions that he's going through a divorce and that he's not a keepsake, insinuating that he's not looking for another relationship at the moment. Jessie responds saying that's fine and that she wants to be toyed with, making it very clear she wants to hook up again. Todd, however, doesn't really seem interested and goes on to say, "You've got a suitor list a mile long waiting for you." However, this doesn't seem to deter Jessie as they continue to talk for a while about all sorts. Now, the conversation steers towards Vic. Immediately, you can see she has an issue with him with some of the things she says. Like, he looks like a leather bag now. He's looking old. Grave robber. He's old enough to be your dad. For shame. Jessie goes on to say, I'd feel sorry for Vic if he wasn't a douche. Kinda ironic she calls him a douche when name calling is a really douchey thing to do. I'm just saying. She proceeds to tell a story about an event they were at and how she seems to so proudly admit how much fun she had harassing Vic and his girlfriend by standing in front of them making silly faces and taking photos, making cougar jokes about his girlfriend and just spouting off bullshit. She could see how uncomfortable Vic was, but she didn't care because she was having fun. Todd and Jessie go on to talk about him being in New York with Vic. When she asks if he's going with Vic, he says, "Oh yes, me and my boy toy." To which she replied, "I just threw up in my mouth a little." Even though she's just joking, she then said, "I think you just ruined it for me. Don't think I can fool around with someone who's fooled around with Vic Mangina." This goes to show that she still wants to mess around with Todd, in case you needed any more proof of what she wanted. That's all the main messages worth mentioning. So, to recap quickly, Todd says he's not currently looking for a relationship. Jessie wants to mess around with Todd, and Jessie goes to an event and harasses Vic and his girlfriend. Now, it seems clear to me that in Jessie's Facebook post, where she claimed that Todd had raped her, that if she was looking to hook up with him again, then maybe these allegations aren't exactly true. Why would you want to continue hooking up with your rapist? That's a pretty weird fetish, but whatever floats your boat. This is my theory. Jessie really liked Todd, And so, when he turned her down, she started to become bitter about it over time. When the accusations about Vic started to gain a lot of attention, she saw this as the perfect opportunity to use her experience with Todd and distort what really happened that night in order to fit her agenda. What agenda is that? To ruin Vic's career. Remember that important part I told you to remember, where she doesn't mention Todd in her post out of fear? Well, it's more likely because she still cared about him and wanted to protect his identity, even though he apparently raped her. But at the same time effortlessly called out Vic without any hesitation because of her personal grudge. Jessie has since made another post where she confirms the person she was talking about is Todd, but by that time people had already put 2 and 2 together, so that doesn't really matter anymore. But yeah, I think it's really disgusting that we can see how she lied about her experience, yet people are still defending her and saying Todd is lying, that the posts are fake. It's funny and kind of sad how these social justice warriors will believe these accusations without evidence, yet when a man steps forward and says, "This is my side of the story, and I also have the evidence to back it up," they won't have it, because we must believe women, no matter what. Yeah, this goes to show that actually, women can lie, and that we should be asking for more than allegations alone before we say if someone is guilty. Now let's move on to something else that happened recently. When I made my last video about all this, I stressed at the end of the video that Funimation should wait until we have evidence before we say whether Vic is guilty or not, and to not be pressured by the social justice warriors into making a decision. I then tweeted the video, tagging Funimation and a couple of people I thought may have some kind of influence. One of those people being Monica Rial. Today, Monica made a tweet somewhat addressing the issue, saying that this is all she had to say about the matter, before linking a picture on Instagram that says, "I believe and support survivors." When I saw this, I was incredibly disappointed that she came to this conclusion. I was really hoping someone from Funimation would come out and say, "Let's wait and see if any new information comes up," or better yet, not say anything at all until there's enough evidence to say whether or not there's been any wrongdoing. You see, what's effectively happened here, by Monica publicly saying she believes survivors on this matter, she's saying Vic is guilty. By doing this, you've condemned the man before he'd even been able to defend himself in a court of law. I spoke with Monica, and unfortunately she seems to be another one of these people who, when you point out the lack of evidence regarding these allegations, she thinks it doesn't matter and that it's okay to assume someone is guilty without sufficient proof. You can see through these tweets where I try to reason with her and make rational arguments. She doesn't want to address these points and instead just evades them. To me, what I say here is common sense, where I ask that we should wait until evidence comes to light before we cast judgment. She says she isn't casting judgment. What? So, making a tweet where you say on the matter you believe survivors isn't casting judgment? Right, okay then. So, at this point, she knows I've caught her out, so she's just like, "Thanks for filling me in on my intentions," trying to make it sound like I'm mansplaining or something. Well, actually, I'm just going by what you said. It's called evidence. When I pointed this out, she could only resort to laugh emojis, which to me is a sign of a lost argument. I want to wrap this up and just say I respect Monica as a voice actor. She's done great work over the years, but I personally believe what she's done here is a mistake, and I hope she'll reflect on how she handled this. It's really important to do this properly, otherwise you're potentially taking down an innocent man whose life will be affected by this forever. There needs to be more consideration for the accused. That's where I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch and to listen. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you disliked and disagree with some of the things I had to say, let me know in the comments below. But keep in mind, keep it civil, or chances are I'll just ignore you. Until next time, peace out.
Yep. This is something that I recommend you go to Lazy Gamer, because he did dig into this whole situation of what happened, and a lot of people are talking about this situation and are questioning what was going on. And I'm questioning this because a lot of things that are going on are pretty are pretty bad right now, because the fact that there is two sides of the story that don't add up, and not everything will come into view when you try to realize, yeah, this is what's going on. A lot of people are talking about this situation because this is something that has been a little bit more to the community about this, because a lot of people are defending Vic. A lot of people are actually surprised by what happened to Vic. And it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to say, but you know, at least Lazy actually did the work and actually put the time and effort to actually put out a lot of things. But like I said before, yes, he's a dick, but he deserves a fair shake in this whole thing. Yeah, Vic may be an asshole. I do agree he's innocent until proven guilty. And I even said this and posted this. It's harder for me to determine what actually happened, because Vic may be an asshole, but I do agree he's innocent until proven guilty. It's harder to determine what actually happened, because I actually said this in a post, because it's like he deserves a fair he does deserve a fair shot in a trial, because the fact that what happened was in this whole story was two sides of the story don't add up. Like Jessica Pridemore claims that she got victimized, and it turned out that it was Todd the whole time, and Todd was the one that did this to her. And then she basically brought out in the conversation that Vic did this to her with no evidence whatsoever. This is the thing that bothered a lot of people, that they literally are trying to go after Vic because they don't like Vic, because Vic is old. Vic is an old guy. So you're basically telling us that you're going after him because of his age, that he basically took advantage of people because of his age, and you're telling me because Vic has been doing this for decades, has been going to every anime convention there is, and yeah, he probably does give you a little bit of a cringe-worthy thing, but what bothers me about this whole situation is that you guys bring up this silly stuff about him, and it gets to the point that, yeah, I don't want to believe this anymore. But I'm waiting until there's evidence, until there's some actual proof there's something that happened. Like, if there were more than one woman that came forward, yes, it should be out there. But the problem is, it's harder for us to determine what actually happened, because in the convention scene, heck, I've been in the convention scene for a while. I actually did go to some anime conventions. And the fact that this is something that a lot of people need to understand is that there is a lot of talk about what happened. Now, there's a lot of things going on with within the whatchamacallit, Steam fans. I'm going to go ahead and change the subject here because I'm done with this subject. Now, a lot of people are not happy with what happened with Steam right now, because this is what happened. The fans that want the game to come on the platform are not going to get it on the platform, because they're not going to get it first, because it turns out the game that everybody hopes that Metro it seems that Metro Last Light and Metro Redux, a lot of people are not happy about Metro not coming on to Deep Silver is officially saying that they were going to release the game officially on a new platform. As you can see, they are releasing the game. As you can see right here, they're planning to release the game on the new platform, Metro Exodus. Now, a lot of people are not happy about this. Notice the sales of Metro has been discontinued on Steam due to the publisher's decision to make the game exclusive for another PC store. The developer and publisher has assured us that prior to the sales of the game on Steam will be fulfilled on Steam, and Steam owners will be able to access the game and any future updates and DLCs through the Steam. We think the decision to remove the game is unfair to Steam consumers, especially after a long sale period. We apologize to Steam customers and expect it to be available through sales on February the 15th release date. But we were only recently informed that the decision is given limited to the time to let everyone know. So it's only going to be available. It possibly is going to, you guessed it, I'm going to show you, Epic Game Store. Now, a lot of people are talking about this because this is something that I personally don't have an issue with Epic Games. This is something that a lot of people are talking about, this epicgames.com. Let me go ahead and put it here. See if I can get it on there. This is what Epic Games is doing. They do have their own little, you can download yourself. I haven't messed with it because I'm kind of skeptical about this company, because a lot of the reasons is it secure? Is it safe? Is it really a good, because their only game that they're very known for is Fortnite, which is their most popular franchise game ever. And right now they are making their own store, and they are right now getting more popular by the reason is because they're offering an 88% cut of the profits to go to the developer. Now, this is something that a lot of people are talking about because of the fact that they are a business and they have the right to do whatever the heck they want as a business, because a lot of game developers are supporting this because of the fact that this thing offers a lot of things. Like, it can offer mod editing. It offers a lot of things that you could play, like VR and all that other stuff. Now, the thing about this is that I had to question a lot of the because a lot of the people in the community are skeptical about the Epic Game Store for one reason, and that reason is that if I kill Ninja in a match and he reports me for any stupid reason whatsoever, will I get banned from playing Fortnite? And also, does it share the same thing as my own account? That's a question that people should ask, because if I play Fortnite and beat the shit out of Ninja in Fortnite, will I get banned from the game? Now, I want you guys to test that theory, because I want to hear what you guys think of it. If I have an Epic Games account and I try to go in there and try to go into a match with Ninja and take him out personally, and he reports me, will I get banned? Now, I would like to test this theory out to find out if it's really true that if I get banned from my account in Fortnite and kill Ninja in a match, fair and square, and then he reports me and I get banned, will I get banned from the store? That is the question I would like to know, because this is something that people need to understand, and the fact that a lot of people are upset about the fact that the games that are coming out for Metro, Exodus, and Division, they're all coming out pre-ordered on the Epic Game Store, and a lot of fans are upset because they decided to go with another platform in hopes that they would actually make money, because they're offering an 88% incentive to developers to play this, to sell their product, which is this game. And the reason why a lot of people are upset is because there was also another thing. Incorporates a third-party DRM, Navarro Anti-Tamper. Now, a lot of people were upset with that issue because Navarro has been known by reputation as one of those anti-tampered things that cause performance issues to the PC, and a lot of people are upset because they don't want that in there. They don't want that type of DRM in there. And the fact that a lot of people don't like that type of DRM, it causes a lot of issues and a lot of performance issues in the PC, that especially frame rate issues. Like, it lowers the frame rate, and a lot of people pointed out in initial tests that it actually does, when you remove the DRM from it, it would actually, you know, make the from 50 to 85, from what I heard from a initial tester that did this, because a lot of people have talked about this issue. I even made a video from my live stream about this, because a lot of people don't realize this issue, and it kind of bothers me about this, because a lot of people are talking about this issue with Navarro, and this is why they're upset with the fact that it's coming out on, if you pre-order Division 2 or Metro Exodus. And this is what a lot of people felt. They felt backstabbed by Ubisoft and Deep Silver, because I can understand the reason is because they're offering developers 88% while they take 12% of the profit from initial sales of the game. And the issue that most people are skeptical about the EA store is that, does it have the same features as Steam? Does it do a lot of things? The only features it has a voice chat. It has a let me see if I can find it, because I looked at the help box, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that, does it have, because it has like a lot of products. Like, a lot of people were talking about the Epic Games Store launcher and talking about this, because it offers a revenue share of introduction rate, which is what they're trying to do to get developers on board. And a lot of people are talking about, why can't I pay with my PayPal wallet? Like, there's a lot of things like the error codes. There's a lot of stuff going on with this, about this service, that a lot of people, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Like, this is something that people are talking about. How do I change my display and my name? What's the one-time password, and how do I use it? How do I temporarily disable? These are like a lot of issues that a lot of people are talking about. I forgot my password. What do I do? Like, let's see what errors I have. Error codes. They got so many 32 question on error codes. Error codes. Let's see what they have. Let's see. An error means that the wrong email address or password was entered when you attempted to sign in. To correct the issue, please verify and enter the correct email address and try to reset your password by clicking Forgot Password. Link to the sign-in prompt, then submit to your email address and result of the form, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's see here. Let's see, there's so many. Okay. The Epic Games Store refund policy. The type of products I can return for a refund. Any games you purchase through the Epic Games Store is eligible for a refund, but Epic cannot provide refunds for purchase made outside of the Epic Games Store. If you receive a refund for a game, you will also receive a refund for all the in-app downloadable content purchases you made through Epic Games Store for that game, as long as you have not used it or modified or transferred the purchases. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, when are the products eligible for a refund? Now let's see here. All games eligible for a refund within 14 days of purchase for any reason, unless you have paid unless you have played the game for 2 hours. You will not be eligible for refunds for a game from which you have been banned or which you have otherwise violated in terms of service. You see my point here. If I went into Fortnite and actually got banned, now you see my point there is that you're not eligible for a refund if you got banned. Okay, you will not be eligible for a refund for games which you will have not been banned, because that's another thing that a lot of people are talking about. And how do I get, okay, how can I request for a refund? You can request a refund by clicking Contact Us on Epic Games Store and Launcher and Help page and submit a refund request. Now let's see what else. What are the pre-orders? What about pre-orders? You can cancel pre-orders if you get refunded at the time of release. After the game is released, you can request a refund within 14 days. If you have not played the game for more than 2 hours, for the purposes of this policy, release includes any playable version of the game. This includes the beta version. Let's see. But what if the product I recently purchased goes on sale? Well, you can refund the purchase for the refund, immediately repurchase the product as long as it abides by the above guidelines. We do not consider this to be a refund abuse if Epic determines you are abusing the refund policy. You may not be eligible for a refund. This policy also exists so you can purchase with comfort that makes sure you only spend on the games if you want to pay for and play. Okay? And this is some of the things that I'm looking at right now. Okay, network connectivity troubleshooting, unable to install Epic Games Launcher on Windows, downloading gets stuck on a certain percentage, will not progress when attempting to down. Like, there's a lot of issues with the Epic Games Store. They're still learning how to, and I can see what's going on. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this, and it's like, I don't know. That's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. As you can see, this is pretty much what they're doing. They're starting out guns blazing and offering an incentive to sell their games at, and then they can get like an 80% cut of the profit whenever they sell a game on the store. It's interesting concept, but at the same time, you know, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to attract a lot of people into buying into the hype of it in order to convince them to be on the store. And the fact that they're getting the game, it's no surprise. That's why I'm hoping that a lot of people realize what they're trying to do. Because this is what they're attempting to do. They're trying to attract people into buying this hype of it in order to attract people into buying it. Because right now they're getting a lot of exclusives. They're getting a lot. Epic Games is getting a lot of exclusives for their titles, and it's like, it's no joke that they're getting, and that's why a lot of fans are upset with the Epic Games Store, because of the fact that they're competing against Steam, and a lot of the people who are loyal to Steam really wanted these games to come onto onto the Steam store so they can buy the game and play it, because it's easier to play it on that platform. But what damning about it is that the fans are upset with Ubisoft at the same time, because they're offering it as an exclusive to the Epic Game Store, and they decided to business-wise go to the Steam, not sell it on the Steam store, but they will soon try to sell it on the platform later on. They would rather, you know, force people to jump on the bandwagon with Epic Games Store in hopes to promote the service, because they want to get 88% of the profit. That is the reason why a lot of these businesses are going into this full like THQ Nordic and others, like they want to go into the business of promoting another store because they want to get 88% of the profit, while the owners of the store gets 12%. Now, the cost of it is going to be a little bit more. They would have to probably, because here's the thing: is their security good? Is there and a lot of people are questioning this. Is their security good? Does it have like really cool features? What are the really good features about this platform that they're offering? Because they do have a similar launcher for their thing too, like Steam does. Now, a lot of people are not happy with the fact that this is happening because of the fact that that Metro Exodus and both Metro Exodus and Division 2 are coming out on the platform, which is Epic Game Store first, while everybody on Steam is like, fuck you guys, we're upset with you guys. You guys are, and it's like, the reason why they're doing this, and I'm going to tell you why, you Steam fans, is because they want the money. They would rather get that 88% cut that they are promised by the Epic Game Store. Money talks, bullshit walks, and that's how it works for them. And a lot of people talk about, but I want this game on Steam. Well, yeah, you want it on Steam because it offers a lot of things. It has like a database where it has a really decent database where you can keep your games. Like, I'm going to show you guys. Like, I have like 100 and something games here. Some of them I haven't played yet. And I have been playing for a while. I was playing Killing Floor a lot. Like 32 hours. Actually, it is a fun game. I have to say Killing Floor 2 is a fun game. Let's see. Deep Space Waifu. I haven't played that in a while. It's actually pretty fun to play. Earthfall. An okay game. It's kind of like another version of Left 4 Dead, but with aliens in it. Haven't been able to play that lately. Let's see. Let's see. And I haven't played a lot of other games, so there's a lot of games I have not played, and there's a lot of them I played. 42 hours for that game. Still haven't beat that game. And I still haven't played that game in a while. Blade Kitten I gotta play, just to play that for the fun of it. Blackguard I gotta play. BioShock Infinity I did play, but I gotta get the DLC for that. I need to get more I need to get that one. Battletech is actually a good one. I really want the I really need to play Battletech more. That game is very addicting, but it's very difficult too. Assassin's Creed Liberation. I still am upset with this game a lot. I have not played. I purchased this back in 2014, and I still am angry at the people. I still am angry. I cannot play this game because of the fact that DRM is killing me. The DRM in this game is killing me. I swear to God. I wanted to play Assassin's Creed Liberation for a while, but the DRM on this thing was annoying as hell, and I really hated it. And I wish they would just... Because originally this was played... You could play this game on the PSP. Now it's on PC, and you can play it. But this is the collection. This is their database. I don't even think the Epic Game Store has a database where you purchase all your stuff, and then they keep that purchase, and it's all DRM managed in the game. Now, right now they have like videos. Now they're branching into videos, and I like to watch King of the Fighters and also Mortal Kombat Legacy 2. Go figure. And most of it is free. As you can see, let me see, what else did I have? I did buy that one. Where is it? Yeah, the Transformers movie. Watched that movie, loved it. Yeah, because right now, they don't have what Steam has. They're branching out into the video business, digital video distribution now. And also the fact that, oh, Doki Doki's free. Free to play with all DLC. I'll buy it because I wanted to play the game for a while. The Doki Doki Literature Club. I might play it, but right now I gotta I gotta get my money's worth and probably buy the DLC for fun. Because I always wanted to play Doki Doki Literature Club, and I never got the chance to. Because I hear it's very hilarious and very funny, and I might try to watch it because I might, because a lot of people really like the Doki Doki Literature Club because it's overly positive, and a lot of people really love this game. So I might try to play this soon whenever I get the chance to, because right now I've been busy at work. Luckily, they'll give me a full weekend, but I have a feeling that one of my workers are probably going to jump ship and try to get off work or quit because a lot of the situations are really bad. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to get this job done. But anyways, this is pretty much what's going on. A lot of people are not happy with what's going on right now. And I think most people are not happy with Steam, and also the fact that they're not happy with the developers too. What business decision they did to go to Epic Game Store, because it's a new platform that people like and want, but no one asked for. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and probably kick it off. Probably get off as soon as possible because I have to log off the internet for life because my thumb hurts. I've been playing a lot on it, and my injury is really bad. So I'll catch you guys later. Good night and have fun.